I think it's very important for all of us to understand is that we have to be careful, and most of us are not very careful, in terms of speaking in monolithic terms, as though we can even talk about a they and an us in any kind of meaningful way. I saw a statistic recently that there are over 20,000 different officially recognized Christian denominations in the world. So if you start talking about Christianity, are you talking about Quakers or Roman Catholics or Russian Orthodox or Free Will Baptist or Pentecostals or United Methodist? What are you talking about? To even assume that Christianity is some kind of monolithic whole, or that Islam is a monolithic whole. Now, there are certain teachings and truths and affirmations that you will find that certainly bind Muslims together in the way that you can find central teachings that bind most Christians together. But Islam is a global religious tradition. Over 50 countries have Muslim majorities. Muslims are on 6 continents, speak dozens of languages, have very different histories. If people really will just pay a little attention, for example, to huge events at the beginning of 2011, revolutions in Tunisia and Egypt that have already overthrown autocratic rulers. Tremendous differences between Tunisia and Egypt. A lot of common features about concerns and hopes and so forth. Tunisia is 98% Muslim, and yet women in Tunisia have reproductive rights. Women in, there's a very different sort of culture and a big debate going on within Tunisia as to how Islamic they want the new government to be. And you find a lot of differences of opinion as to what that should be, and they're going to hopefully work this out. You'll find that same debate going on within Egypt. And nobody knows exactly what the outcome is, but you'll have a variety of different opinions. Part of what people are asking for is the freedom to debate these things without fear and to work this out. Let us work this out. Part of the frustration, the simplistic question of why do they hate us, my experience in 30 years of living in the Middle East and traveling widely throughout the Middle East, the vast majority of Muslims around the world in various countries don't hate Americans. Many people, millions of people, are very, very frustrated and angry with different things that different U.S. government administrations have done, Democratic and Republican, over the years, that they've seen as being sometimes very unhelpful or supporting autocratic rulers who have oppressed them in their view. And so the role of the U.S. as a superpower has certainly, in statistics, polls show this all over the world. The U.S. is not real popular in a lot of places as power has been influenced or exerted, or economic influence has been exerted, or military power has been exerted. So there are a lot of sources of anger and frustration, but to categorize these things in sort of they and us and they hate us is to set up a kind of dichotomy and kind of us versus them mentality that I think is ultimately simplistic, it's misleading, and I think it can be used and has been used sadly by many on both sides in very self-serving sort of ways.